I hope that this phone doesn't fall down. Right now I'm on a skincare journey. If you see something around here, I'm under a doctor's care and I'm doing a lot of skin treatments. This happened related to stress before I was going to return to this job that I recently resigned from in August. So that's the backstory. So if you see anything around here, I'm on a healing journey, everyone. I'm going to talk about some W-2 related topics. Now, if you find yourself in a situation where you're having to leave a job that you really didn't plan on, you may want to look at something that's called corporate bonds. Now, you can go to certain companies and do a direct rollover. There's companies, sorry if I keep looking down, I have some things I'm going to refer to. A company like Vanguard or Fidelity are good. Vanguard, it tends to be for people that has, in my opinion, higher balances. I would say if you had at least $500,000 or above, or if you were in the high hundreds. If you're at 100,000 or below, I think Fidelity would be better, less fees. Now, I do individual stocks and I do mutual funds. And I was talking to someone that is like, they were concerned about doing individual stocks or even mutual funds. And they're like, what is something that they could do? Somebody was talking to them from some insurance company talking about annuities. And I personally, I'm not a fiduciary, I'm not a financial advisor, but I really don't like those annuities because if you change your mind and you try to get out of it, you're going to have a lot of fees. All right, a lot of fees. If you didn't find any high interest CDs or something like that you were comfortable with, I would look into corporate bonds. And I recently had one where I got one in maybe 2011. It was one that was for 10, 15 years. Here's some examples of some corporate bonds that I currently have, all right? I'm not gonna really get into the dollar amount and everything, okay? I have GE Aerospace, and I have one for 5.3%, and I have one for 6.875%. I also have a Kroger corporate bond. It's 5.15%. The principle is you get paid out some interest coupons. The Walt Disney Company, it's 7.75% interest. I purchased this one recently. I have a Citigroup bond that's 6.675%. And then the last one I got, I thought that this was a really good deal. It was 21st Century Fox bond at 7.9%. Now, the one thing, once you transfer things into like a rollover, you have to be sure to declare your beneficiaries. So that's whether you have individual beneficiaries, and you can also check if you can make a secondary beneficiary like your estate or your trust. And they do have some rules. You may not be able to do that, but you could check that out. So you could check with either Fidelity or Vanguard. Those are the ones that I'm most familiar with. You can also check with some other companies. Once that bond comes to maturity, then what will happen is it'll get deposited back into your money market account or whatever cash account you have that's in that rollover. And then you can go ahead and reinvest it. Now, the pros are you know what you're going to get, and you're going to get coupons. Most of the time, they happen twice a year. So what you could do is you could kind of stair-step those. You can buy them slowly. Generally, whenever the money comes in deposit, I don't want to take any chances, so I just go ahead and purchase some other bonds. And if you talk to somebody, make sure that they're not a salesperson, that they're really a fiduciary, and that means that they're going to act on your best interest. If you ask them if they're a fiduciary and they say yes, you can say, Well, what does that mean to you? What is it when you say that you're a fiduciary? What does that mean? Because insurance companies, they will be selling you something where they can make the most commission. And one of the biggest way that insurance companies make money is through annuities. But let's just say that you get one. God forbid that there's some reason that you're not able to work health-wise, and you get a annuity, and you're figuring that you're going to have 10 years to live. God forbid. So they're like, no problem. You just give me this whole $100,000, $150,000, $200,000. You put it all in there. And then you pass away or something before you even had all that time to use that or whatever, okay? And so then your kids, they come there and they're like, sorry, you can't get that money back. Or sorry, you can get your money back, but you're going to have, they're like these outgoing fee thing. You need to be real careful. I had a coworker that got one of these annuities and then wanted to get it out, and it cost her so much money. I mean, that's my opinion, and I'm not going to have comments on this. And in terms of what's going on with my job, I've already pivoted into working another job after I resigned from this job. It's going okay. It's flexible enough where I could look for other positions and stuff. Is a beautiful thing. And the organization has a lot of opportunities. I've been able to rest and spend times with family, which is great. Yeah, so I'm just very optimistic. I am dipping my foot in entrepreneurship. It's a great opportunity because I could work as a contractor with other people, or I can actually do things on my own. The other thing is I finished a website. Oh my goodness. I did it on my own with Google Site. And there's this young lady. Her name is Mara Hayden. I'm sure she's probably in college or a young adult now, but she has a channel that took me step through step of setting up a website. I added some finishing touches. I actually went and looked at some other people's websites. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the gym and get a little workout, get some walking in, and I will check with you next time. So just keep in mind what I said about the corporate bonds.